Now, before we even jump into this review for episode 10 of season 2 of Attack on Titan, I just want to give a fair warning, or just kind of a bit of like kind of breathing room for some of the anime originals. I'm not going to spoil anything in the manga content. I'm going to be referencing some aspects while remaining completely spoiler free. So even if you haven't read the manga, you won't have any spoilers here, but there is some things I do kind of want to touch upon without completely ruining the manga or anything like that, so don't worry there. This episode of Attack on Titan is really interesting because at the core, this episode not only revealed a lot of information that wasn't revealed until a couple of months ago in the manga, and just to keep in mind, by the time this episode finishes, we're pretty much done with chapter 47 of the manga, and some of the content that was in here is like chapter 88 of the manga, give or take, if not a bit later than that. But there is something I want to say. I saw some mixed opinions from manga readers. For myself, perfectly acceptable. Because basically, without giving specifics or what was changed, what's not, essentially, a lot of the kind of reveals and how it was kind of like layered in flashbacks, it makes sense to reveal certain aspects of this information at this point in the arc, because all the stuff that happened with Ymir in terms of like her getting betrayed by her people, that happens in the manga. Just there's extra stuff in that flashback that one we never saw, like how Ymir somehow took over and killed one of Reiner and Bertolt's friends, because in the manga that was never clarified, like how the hell was she able to jump and kill one of them when they were all Titans themselves? They should have been able to take her. So the fact that in this flashback it actually goes into the detail that she kind of just withered away and she was underground and then she jumped out, I fucking love that, like straight up, because that was never clarified in the manga, so now it makes sense on how she got the jump on them without any of them seeing her come. But there is extra detail that is kind of not revealed until later in the manga, like 40 some odd chapters later, but how they added it into her flashback actually makes sense and is better to reveal it here. Which makes me think, because the stuff that I'm referring to, without going into specifics, it wasn't revealed until a couple months ago, so Isayama would have had to told Studio Wit about this information so they could implement it into the season before he even published it in the manga, because this episode's script would have been wrote before that chapter was ever released. So it makes me think that Isayama kind of regretted not giving some of this information earlier in his series, and this is his way of correcting it. Because I do know Isayama worked closely with Season 2 to kind of rearrange certain things, and originally I thought that was just going to be completely new anime original content if they're going to do a 2-core, but instead I can kind of see what he was doing. He's kind of rearranging his past stuff while still making it flow well into the story while being true to the source material. So as a manga reader, what they changed, what they sort of, like, it's not like they revealed everything. It's not like they played out all their chips this episode. They just took some of the major elements from later in the series, like 40 chapters from now, and layered it into her backstory here to make it work. And in doing so, it fleshes out her backstory and the just overall what the Titans are quite a bit. And I'm not going to go into specifics because I'd be ruining things for anime onlys. But as a manga reader, I absolutely loved how they rearranged things. And we're so damn close to chapter 50. I keep hyping it up. Some people aren't going to love chapter 50 as much as me. Even in terms of manga readers, chapter 50 is a pretty popular chapter, but I know even once I read that, I was in a minority compared to a lot of people. I just love that chapter. What it does, it reveals things in its characterization. I just love it. I'll leave it like that. But that should be happening end of episode 12, or like the beginning of episode 12. I wasn't sure how they were going to handle it, but based on the pacing, because I think we're going to be on chapter 48 next week, it makes sense how they're doing it. I love the season. I think Isayama is a mastermind of foreshadowing. I think, you know, some people brushed off the Ymir flashback. It was excellent because it fleshed out and it showed you how much and careful planning was in her character and the way she acted all throughout season 1 and even some of the stuff that happened in season 2. And some people are going to brush us off as, oh, filler. But no, it's fleshing out the character. I don't consider it character development because character development is stuff that happens on screen. Flashing back to show it, I just consider that to be fleshing out. But it's important, and I loved how it foreshadowed stuff in the future that's yet to come in the anime, but also it shows you the foreshadowing that was in the past. And that's brilliant. And I think just the overall visual presentation of this episode was incredible. I think Ymir in Titan form, going through the trees, it almost looked like it was 3D in a way. I'm not exactly sure the animation technique they used, but it was absolutely incredible watching it, and I think just overall, this episode and this season overall is exactly what I wanted from this arc being animated. I absolutely loved it. I love how they're kind of implementing some of the future content from the manga into this arc, and it makes it work. It's not like they're just cutting out content. They're just rearranging certain aspects to make it flow better, which if I had to place money on is Isayama is making up for mistakes that he thinks were made. Because as a manga reader, I never thought there really was mistakes, except the whole, how the hell did Ymir jump Bertolt, Reiner, as well as Annie there? Because they have 3 Titans, they should have been able to do it. So it makes sense now. But besides that, there was never really any issues with Clash of the Titans in my opinion, but how they're rearranging certain aspects is absolutely better in the anime than it was in the manga. I mean, just Studio Wit and this adaptation overall has been incredible, and I can't wait to see episodes 11 and 12. It's gonna be great, you know, it's just really a really solid season. The production quality is great. The only thing that people could really bitch about would be the Colossal in 3D, but overall, you can't complain too much with the quality of this season. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Did you love the episode? Did you hate it? And what was your favorite moment in the episode? And for manga readers, please be sure to spoil tag your stuff so anime originals do not get spoiled. Please and thank you. And before you leave, please be sure to like the video to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.